Hello, my fellow toy amigos. Front and center for modern versus vintage is the Super 7 ThunderCats Lino. For those of you that have been following me, you know the drill. Later on, we will look at his vintage counterpart and decide which is better, modern or vintage.
Lino, one of the beloved characters of the 80s. Iconic, you could say. The first time I saw him wield his sword, now I don't remember if this was the first episode, but I would have to say I was a bit disappointed. Being a kid and knowing what became of He-Man when he wielded a sword, I expected something similar with Lino. With all the intense buildup, as Lino yelled his cadence, I expected a transformation. Instead, his sword projects an image into the sky to call all ThunderCats. I know, I'm being a little harsh, but anyways, here's modern Lino, and he's got a lot of accessories. This is the Super 7 2.0. Now, we're only going to look at the two swords and the alternate head at least, only because the vintage does not come with this much stuff. But just in case you are interested in picking this guy up, this is what he comes with. Here is the Sword of Omens in dagger form, and he actually holds it pretty well. Decent detail here with the Eye of Thundera and then that turquoise color. Here is the Sword of Omens in extended form, and he holds it rather well. Only difference with the sword is that it has the ThunderCat logo instead of the Eye of Thundera. As far as detail and articulation, this kind of has a Masters of the Universe classic vibe. Forgot to mention the dagger is removable. That was the dagger that I first showed y'all. The paint apps are really great on this. Now, I really don't like to go over articulation, but he does have good head articulation. And of course, as far as the rest of the joints, we know what these figures can do. Here is his alternate head, the Grrr head. He looks mad. I think I prefer the other head though. Overall, this is a good looking Lino. Really like this figure. Mr. Vintage is going to have a run. I don't like that gap there, but it is what it is. Mr. Vintage is going to have a run for his money. As far as detail, this is fantastic. It's well done. The paint is balanced, and honestly, I don't see any paint flaws as far as my eyes can see. And just to give you a comparison, here he is next to a 6-inch TIE fighter pilot. Lino towers over him, so that puts Lino about 7-8 inches. And here he is next to his vintage counterpart, Old Faithful, the vintage Lino. And what a difference. Modern Lino, very detailed. Vintage Lino, very basic. Modern Lino, a bit lifelike. Vintage Lino, a bit cartoony. Here is Lino with his crooked sword and his removable claw. The claw sort of snaps onto his hand and you can easily remove it as well. Modern Lino does come with extra claws. You pop his hand off and then pop the claw in. The ThunderCat logo on this one is perfect. Lino 2.0 is great, but he can't do this. Hwah, hwah, hwah. And he can't do this. Oh, if I can. Oh, come on. I got to put that little thing on perfect. It's kind of hard to do this at the. Hold on. There. Give me a. There it is. Look at that. Now, there's no point in going over the articulation here because you can clearly see there's not much there. But for the era, it worked. Paint apps are a bit basic, but it's supposed to be. This was a toy meant to be played with. The modern is way better, but if I had to pick between the two, I'm gonna pick vintage because of nostalgia. All right, my toy hobbyists, place your votes. Which is better, modern or vintage? Thank you for watching. Give me a like, subscribe, get a hobby, and live life.